Hello, everybody. You remember me, right? I wonder if you see me on Instagram. Sakar2009 is what it's called. You can call me that, or you can call me Dark and Deadpan, as what my YouTube channel is called. As, well, it's dark, but I designed a golden mask poster. As you can see, the golden mask, well, you can't see it that well, but he looks different. That is why I have decided to rewrite the golden mask. And this time, it's going to be, the podcast going to be spoken by me, clearly right here. It's not going to be edited or anything, it's just going to be me telling you a story. It was hard to simply edit. I need to usually use money, so this is a lot more easier. Okay, here we go. In a place where it was unclear if the time was ancient or modern, but it felt as if it was both in a way. This was another dimension, a place between heaven and hell. This dimension was called Limbo. The creatures that resided there were unknown to many. Somewhere in Limbo, there was a high mountain. It was higher than anything you could ever imagine. And the name of it was Purgatory Mountain. It was a place where it was decided of who should go to hell or who should go to heaven. And somewhere in that mountain stood a grave of a woman named Hazley. Oh, sorry. Looks like my dog has got in. Hi, Hopper, what are you doing? Oh, you want to go on my bed? Okay. Anyhow. And there beside it was a man in a golden mask. But that man was not any ordinary man. And he was the younger brother of Hazley. And he was mourning by that grave. Mourning in grief and depression, and then God came down to Limbo, down to Purgatory, to confront the man in that golden mask. It says Mac. It should say mask. Give me a second. Okay. Then God spoke in a mighty voice, even mightier than Purgatory Mountain. Then he spoke the words, golden mask, golden mask. For too long you have refused my demand to stop the dark poet, along with his 7 main servants. I know that you are grieving for the loss of your sister. And just give me a second. Sorry. Let me close the door. For your sister, still you have refused my demands, even while the main 7 servants were killing thousands of innocent lives. So stand up, turn to me, to face me, then speak and answer me. What are you whining about? I'm not petting you, Hopper. Then the man stood up, and the man's name was the Golden Mask. It was unclear if God was only calling him that as to what he was wearing, or if that was his actual name. Nevertheless, he did stand up, he did turn around to face God, and he did speak, and he said, All right, I'll do it. But please, never ask me to do this again. You know how Hazley died. You know what the Dark Poet did to her. How he made her scream in agony. Then Hazley died. You know what sorry. I did not edit this well. Then God said, I am aware. I know all and see everything. But, God said, I will tell you this. I need you to go down to the abandoned ruins of Limbo City. That is where a man named David Iron Shatter, or as the Limbo natives call him, Dr. Shatter. He is the seventh servant of the Dark Poet. I need you to confront him, and he will knock you out and take you to the rest of the servants. Then, in each of the servants, one at a time, and take each. Oh yeah, servants. Then, I need you to challenge the Dark Poet. Sorry, it's basically God is telling the Golden Mask that Dr. Shatter will knock the Golden Mask out, take him to the rest of the seventh servants. Then he needs to take the chance to challenge the Dark Poet. I did not write this well, if you can't tell. Convince him that it would be more fun to let you take on each of the servants to challenge. Take on each of the servants one at a time. He believes he will win. He will not. His pride will get in his way, like always. I'm just gonna turn the lamp on. I cannot read like this. I am putting it up to you to save the gifted people that have the rare ability to travel specifically in their sleep. That have the ability to travel to Limbo in their sleep. And save the Limbo natives, which are the people that were born in Limbo, if that was unclear. Natives, for after all, the Limbo natives are your kind, but I will assist a guardian angel to prevent you from running off like last time. That is all for now, so I wish you luck, my dear Golden Mask. The Golden Mask spoke, and he said, Yes, my lord. And then God disappeared back into heaven. And while he did, he said, and I don't even think of running off again. Basically, while God was fading back into heaven, he told the Golden Mask not to even think about running off. Sorry, I'm a really bad editor. I need to get someone else to edit this. Anyhow, again, then the Golden Mask made his way down from Purgatory Mountain and into the ancient library surrounding it, called the Coveted Library. Wait, sorry. Divine. Sorry, it was called the Divine Library. It's hard to see in the mask. If this video goes well, and if I, get any kind of money off of this, I might actually first spend it. We're getting a new mask. Made his way down to Purgatory Mountain and into an ancient library surrounding it called the Divine Library. The golden mask made it to the library and saw how old everything looked. The golden mask had remembered a lot of old memories. It was really a lot of stuff he had been trying to bury in his head. He hadn't been there in 3 years. In 3 years, when the golden mask made it out of the library, he saw that his sister's old boat was still there, and it still had the keys sitting on the driver's seat from all those years ago. Wonder if it still works, the golden mask wonders. So he went on to the old boat and put the keys in the keyhole, and to his surprise, the engine was working. The golden mask was a little rusty when driving the boat, and he didn't have to go that far because Limbo was just a little ways across the ocean. Across the ocean of Limbo, they have an ocean. I don't think I needed to tell you that, so I'm a little new to this, honestly, with telling my own fiction. Please tell me in the comments if I'm doing anything wrong, please. So the golden mask ended up successfully making it to the docks. He tied in his sister's boat, but he didn't realize that there was a camera watching him. It was Dr. Shatter. Page 2. Made it sound like it was a chapter. This is actually just the introduction rewritten. And at the other side of the camera monitor room, Dr. Shatter, who was sitting in the room on an office chair, he was looking at the monitors, and Dr. Shatter looked, said, oh yeah, cybernetic. Cybernetic, and barely resembled a human, and one would wonder what on earth happened to him. Why does he look like that? But then Dr. Shatter saw the golden mask and said in a deformed robotic voice, he said, well, look who decided to show up after 3 years. Phone he had typed in 666. Then, oh yeah, sorry. You're a dead man. Sorry, I had skipped forward. I'm just gonna go back to him laughing. Okay, so after he was done laughing, Dr. Shatter then said, "You're a dead man, Golden Mask." Then Dr. Shatter put in a number on a royalty dial phone. He had typed in the number 666. Then the caller had answered. So Dr. Shatter said into the phone, "The Golden Mask has returned." Poet, you poet? Yes. Bring him to Nightmare Mansion? You'll call the rest of the servants. Then I'll meet you there. Then okay. Good talking to you. Basically, Dr. Shatter had called the Dark Poet, and on the phone, of course. And I misread something. You were supposed to say, yes, okay, I'm just gonna reread that. Okay, Dr. Shatter said into the phone, "The Golden Mask has returned." Poet. Yes? Bring him to Nightmare Mansion. You'll call the rest of the servants? What's that? I'll meet you there. Then okay. Good talking to you. Then Dr. Shatter had hung up, and then he left. And then he had left the room and gone to the docks where the Golden Mask was. And he spotted the Golden Mask and said, "Hello, darling." The Golden Mask turned his head and spotted Dr. Shatter, and then said in a panic, "Who and why are you here?" Then Dr. Shatter said, "My name is Dr. Shatter, the seventh servant. We've never met, but oh, how I've heard of you, Golden Mask. Was it I who thought that... Was it I who thought that God would tell you about me? Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. But he will." The Golden Mask was confused, but when the Golden Mask was distracted, a humanoid robot with human teeth built by Dr. Shatter was silently making its way out of the water. And the robot had then knocked the Golden Mask unconscious. Hours later, the Golden Mask woke up in a room surrounded by the seven servants in Nightmare Mansion. Use my neck's getting a little tired from this. There, one of the seven servants looked like a humanoid man wearing a rotten jack-o'-lantern on his head, while on fire, hovering above the ground. Another looked like a 9-foot humanoid pilgrim insect. There was also a humanoid goat thing standing up on its own with a web-like mouth, and a dark head wearing and a dark head wearing... I'm sorry, it looks like I didn't edit this properly enough. It was supposed to say, and on top of his head, he was wearing a Santa Claus hat. Then there was a teenage girl with tentacle-like fingers wearing a ruined school uniform. She had 3 eyes and her body unnaturally twisting. There was also a man in a clown uniform wearing a fake bunny ears. And I was at it. What are you doing?
Hi, Zach.
Why are you here? Don't say anything weird in the camera, else Mom's not gonna let me to post it to YouTube.
Is this like a blooper now? Did I interrupt you?
Well, I can't edit this, so it's gonna have to stay in the video, so I guess people will probably laugh at this.
Okay. Hi.
Say hi to Sam.
Like and subscribe to Zach's YouTube channel.
Okay. Can you please go now? I'm a little busy.
Yeah, I can go.
Also, you can say hi to Hopper, who's behind you.
Hopper's in Mom's room.
She is? Then who's
Yes.
in my room?
An evil demon.
Okay.
Just like you.
See, I found my candy bucket. It's kind of running out.
Yes, like I spent $70 on you. 70, brother mine. And it's already gone.
It was a Christmas present.
Yeah, $70. You need to pay me back.
It's a Christmas present.
Whatever.
Anyhow, he was wearing fake bunny ears and wearing a clown mask that just looked wrong. Beside him was a girl wearing a gas mask and a trench coat. It looked as if the two were pretty close. Then there was Dr. Shatter. The golden mask didn't know at first, but he was tied up. Then the seventh servant spoke. The first, then sorry, didn't end it properly again. I bet this is a kind of funny video, but I'm only doing this so you guys can actually listen to the story, those who are actually listening to the story. Then the sixth servant spoke. The first that spoke, her name was Gas Mask, and then she said, I don't know about you guys, but we should definitely gas him. Then the fourth servant spoke. Her name was the Mistress. If you couldn't tell, she was the teenage girl whose body was unnaturally twisting. The gas mask was the girl who was wearing the gas mask and the trench coat. Anyhow, her name was the Mistress, and she said, No, I think we should pluck out chunks of his flesh and dip it into a chocolate fountain and serve it to people. Then the first servant, named Jack of the Lantern, who was the muddied humanoid guy wearing the jack-o'-lantern, he then said, Good idea, but I think we should put cyanide poisoning in the chocolates and serve them to children on a Halloween. Then a voice said, No. Wait, sorry, skipped ahead. After Jack the Lantern suggested serving the chocolates to children, the Mistress said, Oh, great idea. But then a no came from the... But then... Sorry, give me a second. And serve them to children on Halloween. Then the Mistress said, Oh, what a great idea. But then a no came from the man in the clown mask. he was the fifth servant, and well, his name was Psycho. And sorry. He then said, I refuse to kill children. We should just eat him while he's still breathing. Then the third servant, named Krampus, who was the humanoid goat figure with the web-like mouth and, wearing a Santa Claus hat. Krampus said, I think we should suffocate him in a sack and beat him till he is a bloody, indescribable corpse. Then the second servant, named the Pilgrim, which one was the insect, the humanoid insect with the pilgrim hat. He then spoke and said, but I think we should just shoot him to the ground and tear him in two and suck out his blood till he's dry. Then Dr. Shatter then said, darlings, I love the ambition, but if you do all that, I won't get his body to turn into a mummified doll. Then the gas mask spoke and said, his body already looks like it's in rough shape. Why would you want to make a doll out of that? Then Dr. Shatter spoke and said, maybe, but that posture is just darling, splendid. I can put preserved skin over him, when turning him into a doll and make him beautiful. But then the dark poet entered the room. He was dressed in long dark robes and had a deformed face with blood around his mouth, and said, settle down, everyone. The dark poet looked satanic. He was about 10 feet tall. A surprise that he could ever fit into the mansion. The Golden Mask saw this as an opportunity to challenge the poet. Then the Golden Mask said, I bet you're just planning on killing me now. Sure, your servants have planned it. Well, have come up with ideas at least. But I bet you're also planning on a way to kill me, because you're scared to see if I can get rid of every servant. The dark poet looked at the Golden Mask with half-dead eyes and a offended look. Then the dark poet then said, are you challenging me? Are you challenging me? The Golden Mask nodded in agreement. Then the poet said, well, challenge accepted. But if you manage to somehow get rid of most of us, I will be forced to get involved so very deeply troubling, the dark poet said, sarcastically when he mentioned troublingly. The dark poet grew a pitchfork out of his left hand as if it was connected to his body and knocked him out using the pitchfork. Well, the part of the pitchfork that wasn't sharp. So audience, the one I've told this to and the people that have actually taken this story seriously, I'd like to welcome you into the world buried between heaven and hell. And the story, ladies and gentlemen, the story of the Golden Mask. And that's about the introduction. If you want a better look at the poster, I guess I could just like turn on the light. If you couldn't notice the poster, you can see the Dark Poet right there. This is also on my Instagram. You can see Jack, Krampus, Psycho. You can see Dr. Shatter on the screen right there. He's just barely there. We would have the gas mask, but the gas mask, oh, is actually supposed to be human, so something does happen to her in the story. Not going to give you any spoilers, but something will happen. Then we have the Mistress and the Pilgrim. We have some other characters here. Not going to say their names, but there's the Guardian Angel. You do get to see her in the first actual chapter. You can see some threats that will occur. And you can even see there the Golden Mask. As you can see, his redesign is horrifying. But if you enjoy this video, please recommend more. And please give me likes, as my brother Sam suggested.